Hey, what is up, guys? Pine About Beer Reviews back here again with you today for another one, and this one I have here today is one that I have not had before, from Blue Point Brewing Company, out of I believe Long Island, New York, if I'm not mistaken. It is 5.5% Pachagu, New York, and Baldwinsville, New York. Yeah, 5.5% ABV, American style amber. I believe that it's just kind of like these toasted malts, toasted grains, all that kind of stuff. Gets a 3.5 on Untapped. I'm not really. I don't think I was checking Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate's rating system is all over the place now. I'm not really sure what they're doing, if they're trying to revamp it or something like that. But because it is sort of just all over the place for the time being, I decided to just kind of go with just rating things, checking on Untapped and stuff like that for ratings. So because it's usually very consistent and everything like that. So 5.5% ABV, 28 IBU. Not that there's anything against anybody else that wants to try to do. Try to get their beer reviews and stuff like that, and get opinions from others on Beer Advocate. I mean, if you still want to do that, but for me, every time I check, it is just percentages. Then it's 3 something. Then it's like out of 5. Then it's back to the A or B, very good to good or Terry, all that kind of stuff. So it's all over the place. So for the time being, I'm just going to stick with Untapped with the referencing reviews, but fortunately, it is really my review in these particular cases that count the most. So we'll just do what we can. Anyway, let's go ahead and see what we get from this pour. It is absolutely clear. Kind of see it's very luminescent. Getting a little bit of that glow on my face. Very copper in color. Very light copper. 2 fingers of kind of off-white. Very soapy, sudsy head. Probably going to not stick to the side of the glass. Lots of small bubbles coming up from the bottom of the etched glass there, as you can see. It's a really nice looking beer. It's very pretty looking. Looks like kind of one of those sort of amber lagers, or the Sam Adams kind of just beer commercial type of colors to it. Appears and everything like that. So it looks really nice. Let's go ahead and go for the aroma on this one. So yeah, it very much tastes like it smells like a very malty amber lager for sure. Has a bit of a resemblance to me to the Lagunitas Rich Copper Ale, which is also a very good amber lager, very malty amber lager. Getting some grains in there, but it is a very toasty, sort of malty, sweet, bready smelling lager. Head's starting to become very pillowy, nice and soft looking. So let's go ahead and go for the flavor on this one. Cheers. Yeah, very malty, good full flavor to it, but it is still somewhat light, but not on the light side necessarily, but it is kind of getting towards, going towards light on the flavor, but it does retain a very bold, sweet, malty, bready flavor to it. Not much really hop at all. I mean, it is not any sort of hop notes that I can kind of get. Like I said, it is only a 28 IBU, so it is definitely malt forward. I'm getting a little bit of a sort of hint of grassiness from grains, but very, very small hint of grassiness. But mostly just a rich kind of malt flavor that kind of hits you on the middle of the palate. Kind of leaves you with a bit of that grassiness on the back and a little bit of that bready sweetness on the front. Kind of like a wheat bread, something like that, but it doesn't taste like a wheat beer. The mouthfeel is fairly carbonated, but not too bad. The finish is, it's very drinkable. I mean, it is 5.5% ABV. It's not much stronger than a regular beer. This seems like one that will actually become more pronounced and more flavorful as it warms. So this definitely is one that you could set aside for a while if you're busy doing something, busy out working in the yard, busy working on some sort of project or whatever, and you're kind of stepping away a lot. This one will kind of stick with you, I feel like, and remain nice and flavorful. Several minutes after you pour it. Not really one that you would necessarily have to drink quickly or anything like that, like many other lagers are. Because those always tend to get very adjunct forward with the flavor. You start getting a lot more of those sort of malt extracts, corn extracts, etc. But this one is it's very rich and bold in flavor, but without being too heavy. I think that like I mentioned the Lagunitas Rich Copper Ale. That one is a bit more strong in flavor. I think it's a bit more strong in the alcohol too. I think it's kind of more towards 6.5% ABV. But this one is I'm actually really pleased with it. I wasn't really expecting too much. I actually got this. I was just celebrating birthdays with family in my hometown, and my brother picked these ones up and mentioned them being good and gave me one to try when I get home. So yeah, I really like it. I would give this as a toasted, as far as a malty lager goes, I would give the Blue Point Toasted Lager solid A. I do kind of prefer the Lagunitas one more, but this one is what it is, so I definitely recommend checking it out if you happen to come across it.